or 9:36, no? Jagatha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Shadandana Prajanaraja Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Dango Pramade. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. I have done on the Zoom, and here I can do screen mirroring.
Screen mirror, yes, yes, temple or yes.
What is the code?
6169. No, it's not. No. Yeah. Yeah. You have to use your, yeah.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Canto 4, Chapter 9, entitled Dhruva Maharaj Returns Home. Text number 36. Maitreya Vacha Navai Mukundasya Padaravindayo Rajo Jushastat Bhavatrisha Jana Vanchanti Taddasyam Rite Artham Atmano Yadrichaya Labdhamana Samriddhaya Maitreya Vacha Navai Mukundasya Padaravindayo Rajo Jusastat Bhavadrishachana Vanchanti Taddasyam Rite Artham Atmano Yadrichaya Labdhamana Samriddhaya. Yes, somebody can recite. Mataji's. Translation purport by Ultimate Grace Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The great sage Maitreya continued, My dear Vidura, persons like you, who are pure devotees of the lotus feet of Mukunda, the Supreme Person Godhead, who can offer liberation and who are always attached to the honey of his lotus feet, are always satisfied in serving at the lotus feet of the Lord. In any condition of life, such persons remain satisfied, and thus they never ask the Lord for material prosperity. Purport. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord says that He is the supreme enjoyer, the supreme proprietor of everything and anything within His creation, and the supreme friend of everyone. When one knows these things perfectly, he is always satisfied. The pure devotee never hankers after any kind of material prosperity. The karmis, however, or jnanis or yogis, endeavor always for their own personal happiness. Karmis work day and night to improve their economic conditions. Jnanis undergo severe austerities in order to get liberation. And yogis also undergo severe austerities by practicing yoga system for attainment of wonderful mystic powers. A devotee, however, is not interested in such activities. He does not want mystic powers or liberation or material prosperity. He is satisfied in any condition of life as long as he is constantly engaged in the service of the Lord. The Lord's feet are compared to the lotus, wherein there is saffron dust. The devotee is always engaged in drinking the honey from the lotus feet Lord. Unless one is freed from all material desires, he cannot actually taste the honey from the Lord's lotus feet. One has to discharge his devotional duties without being disturbed by the coming and going of material circumstances. This desirelessness for material prosperity is called nishkama. One should not mistakenly think that nishkama means giving up all desires. That is impossible. Living entity is eternally existence, and he cannot give up desires. A living entity must have desires. That is symptom of life. When there is a recommendation to become desireless, it is to be understood that this means that we should not desire anything for our sense gratification. For devotee, this state of mind, nispriha, is the right position. Actually, every one of us already has an arrangement for our standard of material comforts. A devotee should always remain satisfied with standard of comforts offered by the Lord, as stated in Ishavanishad. Tena tena bhunjita. This saves time for executing Krishna consciousness. Om Jnana Tirandasya ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सगन रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगन ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितां च नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौर ऋषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा everybody is awake. Seek blessings of all assembled devotees. I can speak something for my own purification. So here we are discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam, fourth canto, ninth chapter, text number 36. Everybody can repeat this verse after me. Translation of this is, my dear Vidura, the great sage Maitreya continued, my dear Vidura, persons like you who are devotees of the lotus feet of Mukunda, the Supreme Person Godhead, who offer liberation and who are always attached to the honey of his lotus feet, are always satisfied in serving at the lotus feet of Lord. In any condition of life, such persons remain satisfied and they never ask the Lord for material prosperity. It's extremely happy and feeling blessed to be here in association of all of you wonderful devotees at this ISKCON Paramount Hills, Sri Sri Radha Gopijana Vallabha Temple. Every day when we chant Jai Radha Madhav, Kunja Bihar, I remember Jai Radha Madhav, Radha Madhav, Maya, Kunja Bihari of Pune, Gopijana Vallabha, Parmenta. Even so beautiful deities and more than beautiful deities, wonderful devotees here. I'm extremely grateful to Bishop for his tireless efforts to serve devotees, uplift them, and create this wonderful Krishna conscious community. In Kali Yuga, is most difficult. Kali Yuga means quarrel and hypocrisy. When you bring people together, what will happen? There will quarrel, conflicts. Even two people cannot stay together. What to speak of having hundreds and thousands of devotees together. So when one comes together, there is quarrel, and when one stays alone, there is hypocrisy. One may make a show, oh, I'm a great devotee. But it's very difficult to practice Krishna consciousness alone. If you want to practice Krishna consciousness, we need association of devotees. What kind of devotees? Devotees like Vidura. Here we see Vidura's characteristics mentioned by Maitreya. Maitreya is saying, my dear Vidura, you are always attached to lotus feet of Lord. You are always engaged in service of lotus feet. And therefore you are always satisfied. And you are not hankering for any material prosperity, material desires. Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi, Kami, Sakale, Shant. Krishna Bhakt, Nishkam, Atayeva, Shant. Materialist people hanker for Bhukti, sense gratification. Therefore, they are always struggling, and more they try to enjoy, more they suffer. E sansarja bhoga, dukkha ena evati. So, their efforts, more they work hard, more they suffer. So, in one sense, they are working hard for work becoming more and more miserable. Mukti, mukti. Jnanis are wanting mukti, liberation. When people suffer, they want to get rid of suffering. Oh, I don't want suffering. Oh, if I get involved in material life, if I try to enjoy, I'll suffer. Better I give up enjoyment. Let me renounce. So, Jnanis want to renounce. But still, they cannot be peaceful. Material desires are always hankering. And to give up desires and to be empty, it is not possible. It is. Nahisya kashyat shanyapi chahatu tishtati akaram krit. Even for a moment, to remain peaceful is very difficult. As constitutionally, soul is very active. So even one goes to Brahman and achieves some so-called shanti, shanti, shanti. He cannot stay there long. He'll be bored again. He comes back. So, bhakti, those materialist people are not peaceful, and even those who are hankering for mukti, they are not peaceful. Bhakti, mukti, siddhi, kami. Siddhi, kamis are yogis. They perform so many tapasas so that they can get siddhis. One can become smaller than the smallest, can become bigger than the biggest. One can understand minds of people, one can control people, one can prapti, one can sit here and get anything from any part of the universe. One can create planets, one can destroy planets. All these are various siddhis. All our material science and technology, what is trying to do is trying to develop these cities. smaller than smallest, bigger than biggest. Sitting here, make make one click and achieve anything, get anything from any part of the world. It's, try to control others. So all these things are there. But when one gets involved in this, one becomes disturbed. He cannot be peaceful. So therefore, devotee is not interested in Mukti Siddhi. He's just interested in his constitutional position. What is constitutional position of everyone? Jivera Swarupa, Krishna Nityada. That is natural. Not trying to become Lord and Master, but trying to become servant and engage in service of Krishna. So we see that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to teach us how to be engaged in service of Krishna. Lord Krishna came and taught devotional service, but he told how to surrender to him and all this thing. But then in Kali Yuga, people started imitating him. So Krishna again appeared 500 years ago as Sri Chaitanya to demonstrate by his own example how to practice Krishna consciousness, beginning with hearing and chanting. And we see Sri Chaitanya traveled everywhere to preach, and especially stayed in Jagannath Puri majority of time in association of devotees, demonstrating how we can practice and relish Krishna consciousness. And taking the instructions of Sri Chaitanya, we see so many acharyas have tried to spread this Krishna consciousness. And especially our founder Acharya, his divine graces, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He took the mission of Lord Chaitanya very seriously. Prithvi Jayata, Sarvatra Prachar Hoy. So that has been a desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Prabhupada took it very, very seriously under the instruction of his spiritual master. And by his mercy, now we can see even in America, in Michigan, in Detroit, in Farmington Hills, they are having opportunity to hear and chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It is said Srila Prabhupada created a home in which in which whole world can live. So this Srila Prabhupada created the home. This home is not a material home. We just ordinary material bricks and walls. A spiritual home. And physical distances and external material parameters don't inhibit that. So we see whenever devotees meet from any part of the world, when they come together, immediately they feel very happy. I'm coming here and Parentals, and I'm feeling at home because Prabhupada has created a home where everybody naturally interacts and like I saw yesterday night when I came, our Jugal Bishop and was waiting till night. So I was waiting. Who waits so late night? Only at home, our near and dear ones wait. Similarly, I went for a program. So many devotees were, so many wonderful interactions. That makes one feel home. And home, there is one very special aspect. Nice prasad. So, yesterday I went to Krishna Kumar's home. Such nice prasad. Evening also nice prasad. So Prabhupada created a home, really beautiful, sweet home. And in this home, when we stay, actually responsible to practice Krishna consciousness. So this community of devotees, spiritual home, that otherwise alone is very, very difficult. So when we build a home, first we have to have foundation. If we don't have foundation and we try to build a home, what will happen? If there is little earthquake, if there is little storm, if there is little, immediately building will come collapsing. So for a strong home, we need a strong foundation. So what is foundation for this spiritual home? What is strong foundation for this spiritual home? Vaishnav Prabhupada? Hmm? Yeah. Individual and collective sadhana. Hmm. You see, Narad, this our Guru Prahlad Maharaj, when asked by his father here in Kashmir, what is the best thing you learned from your teacher? He said, best thing I learned is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnam, Smarnam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sankyam, Atmanivedanam. So this 9% devotional service actually the king of all education is the most important thing. That is how we can serve Krishna, please Krishna. We can connect to Krishna. We can develop our loving relationship with Krishna. So the foundation of the home is actually the spiritual practices. Shravanam, Kirtanam, and especially hearing. Because if you don't hear, what are we going to chant? And if you don't hear, how are we going to serve? So hearing is very, very important. And therefore, Srila Prabhupada established this culture of daily hearing Srimad Bhagavatam class. Prabhupada created sandwich from morning hearing Bhagavatam, Mangalarti, Japan, Bhagavatam, and evening again Bhagavad Gita, so that we are hearing. So that whole day when we can act in a Krishna conscious, in Krishna consciousness. One time Srila Prabhupada was giving class and one person, one devotee, he stood up and started walking away. So Prabhupada asked, where are you going? He said, Prabhupada, I have some service. He said, Seva? He said, if you don't hear, what service will you do? After few years, you will think, why this my spiritual master has given me galagra, burden for my neck. When you come to temple, you won't be able to see this as a arch vigraha, as loving manifestation of merciful manifestation Lord, deity. One will think this is galagra, burden. Spiritual master has given some galagra, that is, to, but if you hear regularly, then you'll understand, oh, this is not stone or statue or galagra. It is just an archvigra with whom we can lovingly serve. And one will feel extremely grateful for service opportunity. One will feel happy to serve. But if you don't hear, then we'll see everything with material perspective. We'll think, oh, this is just a stone. And we'll think, oh, what is this? We'll think, oh, I'm doing great favor to Prabhupada, great favor to Guru, by coming to temple, doing some seva. But when we hear, we have so actually Krishna is doing great favor to me by engaging in service. Oh, Prabhupada is so merciful. He is giving me some opportunity, sir. One can develop proper attitudes, proper consciousness. So when we hear, then we'll be able to chant also. If we don't hear, chanting will be very difficult. And if we don't hear, what will you chant? We'll chant something else. But if you hear Krishna Katha, if we hear holy names, then we can chant glories of God, we can chant the holy names of God. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. So this hearing and chanting is so powerful. It can solve all problems of life, individually and collectively. And therefore, Prabhupada traveled everywhere. And wherever he went, he spoke glories of holy name, glories of Lord. One time, one person asked Swamiji, how is that you created such a miracle? You went with practical nothing, and when you came back, you had crores and crores of rupees, and you established 108 temples on road. What miracle you did? He said, no, wherever I went, I just did hearing and chanting. This hearing and chanting is actually the key. And the purpose of management is to facilitate everybody's hearing and chanting. You have big structure, big physical structure, big management structure, big all these things, so that we can facilitate everybody's hearing and chanting. When hearing and chanting happens, Cheto darpana marjana. Heart will be purified. Then all that which is troublesome in heart will be gone away. Then we'll feel joyful. When we are joyful, then we can also share that joy with others. If you don't do hearing, chanting, heart is not purified. And then when we come together, we'll purify each other. And when new people come also, we'll purify them also. And then they will not be inspired to again come. But if you have separate process for purifying the hearing, chanting, then we can serve very nicely. So foundation of this home is not material foundation, is this nine process of devotion, especially hearing, chanting. Hmm. Prabhupada was living in a rented place, but he was doing this. And when new people come, he taught them hearing and chanting. So individually we have to hear, chant, and collectively we have to hear and chant. So collectively, like we have this Bhagavatam was together we are chanting. Or morning we have japa session, together we are chanting. Sometimes we are traveling, so we may individually hear, individually chant. But we have to be committed for this process. So we say, at time of initiation, we take a vow that I will chant minimum 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So we take a vow for this. And chanting is not possible unless we hear. Motivation to chant will come by hearing. Sometimes people think, oh, I have not taken a vow to hear or read. No? I have only taken a vow to chant, so I should at least just chant. But if you think I will just chant, very difficult because there is no inspiration to chant. In sadhana stage, in sadhaka's life, since we don't have natural attachment to lotus feet of Lord, it's very difficult to serve. The motivation, the inspiration to serve comes by hearing and reading. When we read Prabhupada books, when we hear Prabhupada and spiritual master and senior devotees, that is inspiration, that gives motivation. Practice spiritual life. Otherwise, if you don't do reading, hearing, there's no motivation to chant and practice devotion, other aspects of devotional service. So this is the foundation of this spiritual home. What is foundation? Individual and collective sadhana, beginning with hearing and chanting. Sadhana is that which we do daily, not once a year or once a month, no, daily. So we should daily chant Hare Krishna. So daily read, daily hear, even if it is little, but doing daily, that is. So this is the foundation. And after foundation, we have flooring. Here, flooring is made of, what is this flooring? Made of? This flooring is wooden flooring or tile? Jugal, what is this flooring, madam? Okay, there are different types of floorings. Tiles, sometimes granite, sometimes vinyl, sometimes, like different. So the spiritual home, what is the flooring of spiritual home? Flooring, we are always in touch with flooring. It is said we can have sky in head, we can have head in the sky, but our feet should be on floor. Feet should be on ground. So flooring, that which are we always in touch. So flooring for this spiritual home is actually humble, menial service attitude. When you come in this home, we come with this humble service attitude. Therefore, in Srila Prabhupada taught us to call everybody as Prabhu and call oneself as Das. Everybody else is Prabhu, I am Das. And Das means one should serve. We are calling others Prabhu so that we can understand they are my master. I should serve them. I am Das. And service, any service, doesn't matter. Whatever service we do, we may do worshipping deities of the Lord, or we can clean the floor of the temple, or we can do the security services in temple, or we can raise funds for the temple. Whatever service, there's no high and low service. Krishna is absolute, and his service is also absolute. Whatever service opportunity we get, one should do it in humble mode of servant or servant. That will actually nourish our heart. So when people are always in mood of service, that's very inspiring. And when we come to serve, we can experience joy and happiness. Happiness is not a product that we can go in the market, pay some money and buy it. Happiness is a byproduct of humble, selfless service to Krishna and his devotees. When you do the service, immediately we become happy. When we come to temple to enjoy, oh, I will have a great time. Oh, no, festival is there. I will enjoy. We come with the mood to enjoy. Mm, Many things may be wonderful, but if one thing goes wrong, one will be very upset. One comes in temple, oh, this great festival, wonderful. I will enjoy. You see, "Arey, so much crowd is there. And then you stand in line for, there is so much crowd. And then there is long lecture and long kirtans. And prasad is very delayed. They say, why is so late, prasad? And you go in line for prasad, and by the time you go, the main item gets finished. You only get dal or some khichdi little. And when he goes back, he will be frustrated. I went, I spent so much time, but I couldn't get him prasad also properly. So when you come with desire to enjoy, one will be frustrated. But when you come to temple with desire to serve, and when any service, maybe some service we are some devotees are assigned to us. Even if nothing is assigned, we can always find some service. And when we render service, when we go back, we feel, oh, so happy. Today was the best day. I served. So the flooring of this spiritual home is humble, menial service attitude. Like I saw there. As soon as you enter temple, what is the written there? Keep shoes outside. Just now, Jugal Kishapu saw my chappal. He said, hey, how did you bring chappal here, Because in temple you can't bring chappal. So you have to keep shoes outside. Similarly, when you enter temple, we have to keep our false shoes outside. We have to park it outside. When you come in association, you have to understand. We are das, dasang, das. We are not CEO of so and so company, or we are not big engineer, big doctor, big lawyer, big anybody. If you come with that ego, then actually you won't get that real benefit. When you come, so everybody, whoever he may be, everybody's what does he identify himself with? And dance. We see King Prataputra. He's the king of whole world. He whole Odisha. And Odisha was the rule. His was even expanded towards South India. But when he met Lord Chaitanya, and especially during Rath Yatra, when he got the opportunity to massage his feet, and when he chanted mm, the Jivanam, that verse, so Lord Chaitanya was so happy. Immediately, he becomes so ecstatic. He said, who are you? What did Pratap say? He did not say, I am the king of Odisha. He said, Gopi Bhadra Pad Kamlyo, Das, Anudas. So that is the consciousness we need to cultivate. It's not natural in material world. Therefore, we need training. Therefore, we need hearing, association. In association of devotees, we can learn this. Krishna consciousness is more caught than taught. When we see devotees, humble mood, we see Prabhupada. He was a great Acharya, but what he was doing, he used to cook for devotees, he should serve devotees. Initial days, hippies used to come for program, Prabhupada give class, then feed prasadam, eat prasadam, they used to keep all juta plates, everything go away. Then Prabhupada will clean the plates, clean all, everything. So he was humbly serving everybody. Taught. You may say we can give big class, but people will not understand. But we serve, people understand by our actions. Now here we see Prabhuji is cutting some. That means Anybody, like, we teach by our example. Mm. Especially children. No matter how much parents may tell, whatever you do this, you do that, you will not listen. But they will see how you are doing. And when parents, children see, oh, my parents are worshiping Krishna, they're chanting Hare Krishna, then they will learn things, how they are respecting others, how are they are honoring others, how they are serving others. By seeing, they will learn. We see parents come offer dandas to people, then child will also offer dandas. If parents don't offer danda, then they say, child, offer danda. Do you think he will learn? No. So one learns by seeing. So in community of devotees, we have to individually cultivate this uh, desire to be humble mediums. So this is the flooring of the house, and then the house has walls. Walls are compared with loving relationships. So when there are loving relationships or devotees, then everybody wants to be a part of that house. If there is envy and material competition, criticism, hatred, all these things, people don't want to be part of this thing. But especially if they're loving exchanges, as Rupa Goswami says, Tadati Pratikurinati, Guyam Akyati Pujti, Umte Pujte, Shadbir Priti Akshara. So one should water the relationship with six loving exchanges. That is the things. We can do one exercise, little bit. Will it be okay? We can do some exercise. So all of you can stand up. All of you can stand up. You can make a triplet. Triplet means three people group. And make the triplet with someone whom you know. Okay. So whomever you know, like that, three people, you can make triplet. Okay. And sit down. Sit down in a circular form. Sit down in circular form in the sense everybody can see each other. Okay. So sit in a circle, okay, triplet form, okay, and you can assign number one, two, three to triple, okay, who is one, two. So here there are three, here there are three. Uh, Harival, you can little move this chairs here so that yeah, so that you can sit peacefully. Okay, here is three, here is three, three. Okay. So all those who are ones, raise hands. So I know who is the one in every group. Every group there should be one, one. Okay, one, 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 one. You are three, huh? One. Here is one, 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 one. Okay, fine. All twos raise hand. All twos. Okay. Every has a two number. Okay. Two, two, two. Here two is two. And all threes raise hand. All threes. Three, 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 three. Everybody knows who's three, no? Okay, fine. Wonderful. So now we'll just, I want devotee number one to tell to devotee number two something you genuinely appreciate in devotee number three. Okay? What do you really appreciate about three? Number three? Some wonderful qualities, some wonderful activities. No? Oh, no, properly. You tell one number devotee should tell to two number devotee qualities of three number devotee. Okay? Some appreciation of devotee number three. Okay? No, devotee three should hear. Okay? As a service. Okay? All, don't worry. Okay? Devotee number one talks to devotee number two, glories of devotee number three. Okay? Hari. Okay. One should talk to two, glories of three, and three should hear. Okay. Here, who is one? You can speak to two. About three. Fine. I'll take few more seconds. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Now, devotee number two can speak to devotee number three. Glories of devotee number one. Okay. Devotee number two tells devotee number three glories of devotee number. Please hear. Okay. Don't close your ears. Here as a service. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. So now devotee number three can tell to devotee number one glories of devotee number two. Three can tell to one glories of devotee number two. Okay. Okay. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna. So how all of you are feeling now? Hmm? So how many are feeling miserable? How many of you are feeling happy? So I want to know, somebody would like to share their experience of hearing glories of other devotees. How you felt? Mm. What was your experience of hearing others' glories? Yes. Prema word we use in the 9 stages of emotion. I just felt my heart was filled with completely with the prema. Yes. We have such a prema Kallavi. Okay. So when we hear glories of others, immediately our divine quality starts manifesting. When we hear others' good qualities, our good qualities also. And we feel love and appreciation for each other. Thank you. Yes, anybody else? Yes, ma'am. We feel inspired. When we hear about others' qualities, we feel inspired, motivated in our devotion. Oh, he's such a wonderful devotee. I should also try to follow in his footsteps or her footsteps now. We feel inspired, motivated in Krishna. Thank you. Yes, Prabhu. Somebody was raising hand.
Very similar that
How you felt?
the devotee so exalted his or her divine qualities that I feel like I have a long way to go, but I have an example that's
Yes. We feel humble when we say, oh, this devotee is so great. I was thinking I'm only great, but after hearing this, I realized, no, there are many other great devotees besides me. So we feel humble, we feel encouraged. Yes, thank you. Wonderful. And when you spoke about glories of other devotees, how was your experience? Anybody like to share? What was your experience when you spoke? Yes. Like Rupa Goswami says, I should have thousands of mouths to actually chant the name of Krishna. You feel like I want to go beyond. Why is there is a time stop saying that we should keep going, thinking about that connecting to Krishna. You're super Vaishnava. One wants to glorify Vaishnava. It's a great. So you felt happy to glorify. You're feeling excited. Getting opportunity to glorify. Wonderful. Yes, Pujay. How was your experience of appreciating others? They are there, Pujay. Okay.
Many times we feel envious about others, about their success also. When we glorify, actually, I heard that the best way to get the benefits of that service is also glorifying the devotee. So not only that you don't need to do the service, but just to glorify the devotee services. Actually, you also get the benefit of it, and also you get rid of the envy in the heart.
So, how was your experience? How did you feel after appreciating, glorifying other Vaishnavas?
Very happy in the heart. So
You felt happy, yes. In Krishna Gan, we don't have to do great things. But even if we can appreciate other devotees who are doing great things, we can advance in spiritual life. We just don't have to be envious of anyone. Okay, I may not be able to do great things, but at least I can appreciate other devotees who are doing great things. And Krishna becomes so pleased. Whatever spiritual advancement other person gets, he will give same advancement to you also because you just appreciated it. So doing service may be very difficult, and we may not be able to. But if we appreciate, we get same spiritual advancement. That's spiritual, isn't it wonderful? Great. Yes. Anybody else? How you felt when you appreciated other Vaishnavas? How was your experience here?
I felt that many they teach by example in so many ways, but because I'm not so observant, so I don't see that. So if I can see more, I can learn more.
Sometimes we want to always hear our glorification, and you ask to tell, can you speak out something? Something we become blank. I don't know his glories. Maybe I didn't observe. Maybe I have to learn observing uh, minute things, small things, and then appreciate. So one can become conscious. So many, so many wonderful things happen in temple, not automatically. Always behind there is some devotee involved. If something wonderful is happening, means some devotee has worked very hard. Mm. Ultimately, only chaos can happen. But something wonderful, beautiful trace. That means somebody has worked hard. Beautiful prasad. Sound system is working. Somebody must have worked to make sure this sound system works. Projector is working. Whatever this TV is clean. That means somebody has worked, so we can appreciate. Thank you. Yes, Prabhu. Behind. How was your experience of appreciating other Vaishnava, other devotee?
Very happy.
You are very happy. Haribo.
Very happy. Uh, Definitely is a very purification.
Yes.
When you purify, when you appreciate other devotee, Vaishnava, it purifies us. So
Yes.
what appreciation brings the community stronger.
Yes.
When we always in the appreciate mode,
Yes.
makes like
Yes.
friendship.
Then loving relationships are not built in. And it doesn't cost anything. Dadati Pratika, giving gift and receiving gift. We don't have anything, at least give kind words, some appreciative words probably. So it's really uplifts. Thank you. And how was your experience of hearing appreciation from others? Now, honestly speak, don't you don't have to be um, shy about it. But if you can honestly share how you felt when you heard your own appreciation from others' mouth. Yes, Prabhu. Bhagavad Acharya, raising hand. Huh? No, no, I'm asking how you felt when somebody appreciated you. Huh? No, very little about both of them. No, when the other devotee appreciated you, how was your experience? You are feeling awkward, huh? Not used to it, Used to hear feedback and criticism and rectification. Somebody, oh, okay. So you're feeling awkward. Hmm? Okay, you felt humbled. Humble. Okay. Yes, sometimes when there is genuine appreciation, actually brings about humility in others. Not flattery. Flattery is insult. When you flatter other person will become upset and angry and he may not feel it. But genuine appreciation is very heart touching and can make person humble. Yes, thank you. Yes, anybody else? How you felt when somebody appreciated you? I don't deserve that I'm not there, but the devotees are so merciful. You felt encouraged, isn't it? How important is encouragement in our spiritual life? Very much. Everybody needs encouragement. No matter how many years we practice Krishna consciousness, even 1 year, 2 year, 10 year, 20 year, 50 years, everybody needs encouragement. So if devotees appreciate us, we feel encouraged. And when we are encouraged, we can do our services, we can do our sadhana, we can do our Krishna very enthusiastically. Utsaha, Nishya, Dhairya, that Utsaha will come when mm, we receive some appreciation. So, thank you. Anybody else? Those who have not spoken, yes, Mataji. Mike. Okay. Lovely. The first time it was really hard for me to receive, but then the more I felt it to appreciate it. I learned gratitude that was becoming more than good. So I said, "Can I get more gratitude?" That was the first yes, when we hear wonderful qualities and individuals are appreciated. You remember how I was before I came to Krishna consciousness and by myself, spiritual master, by myself, Vaishnavas, I have improved. Oh, wonderful. This process is working and we can feel grateful. And yes, thank you. Is anybody else? How was your experience of hearing your appreciation? Yes, yes, Guruji. Hmm.
It's not that,
Yes.
but as I was hearing, I was just passing on.
Yes. You felt embarrassed and miserable, or you felt embarrassed and happy?
Wasn't happy, but um,
Were you happy to pass on the credit to Guru Maharaj? You, you're, you're happy to pass on credit to Guru Maharaj? You felt happy passing that credit? You felt happy, you felt embarrassed, and happy to give glories to him. Uh, they are not glorifying me, they are glorifying Krishna, glorifying Krishna's mercy, Guru's mercy. Last. You spoke, not spoken. Ah, yes.
I felt very visible and tried to close my ear, but there's no escape actually. I understood these two fellows are now. Then I started looking, to Paramatma. Maybe they are glorifying Paramatma in my heart. So, Guru Maharaj.
So, yes, sometimes we may feel awkward, but actually, if we understand it, this dude is so sincere. When somebody appreciates, we can develop appreciation for them. Though I have no qualities, but he is able to see good, wonderful, so nice. Vaishnav, so wonderful. And it's nothing wrong to feel happy when somebody appreciates us. If we feel good, wonderful. Hmm? In Krishna consciousness, it's important that we feel happy. So sukham kartum ayam. We don't have to be miserable. And we don't have to artificially feel miserable. Hmm? We don't have to. If we feel happy, if somebody is appreciating, we can say, I'm happy. Thank you very much. Huh? So, and it's natural to feel happy when we are appreciated. And that's wonderful and that's okay. And we don't have to feel, maybe I will become puffed up, proud, and all this thing. No, no. It's not that we have to be miserable in Krishna consciousness. If somebody appreciates and feel encouraged, we can appreciate that Vaishnava that is. It takes one to know one. Mm. Generally, when one describes others, one describes how one is. If one is proud, he'll say he's very proud. Humble person thinks that everybody is humble. Similarly, so if somebody that we can say, "Oh, by hearing others, we can appreciate other person also. Wonderful. And we also can get encouraged, inspired, and we should be grateful for that encouragement. Yes, last.
Some words came from the mouth of a wonderful devotee. So Krishna will make it true one day, but I have a long way to go.
Yes. We can also know that, okay, Prabhu is saying like this about me. Maybe I should make his words true. No? And I have a long way to go. No? And yes, he's encouraging me. Let me also now actually be like that, what he's speaking about. No? So that's inspiring. So when we come together in the community, it's very important that we appreciate each other, encourage each other. Actually, in practicing spiritual life in material world is very difficult. If somebody is doing it, it's a very great thing. And if we inspire, appreciate others, it's very pleasing to Guru. It's pleasing to Krishna. It's very uplifting, energizing. And when we come in a community, we should not criticize others and hear the criticism of others. That will destroy our bhakti. Appreciating others, hearing appreciation is uplifting. And if we criticize, whether it's true or false, doesn't matter. Or if we hear criticism, whether true or false, doesn't matter. It will destroy our bhakti. It will drain all spiritual energy. And one will become very miserable. So it's up to us. We want to be happy, appreciate others, hear appreciation of others. If you want to be miserable and destroy bhakti, speak criticism of others, hear criticism of others. That will destroy. So when we come together, we have to cultivate this loving relationships by appreciating devotees, by appreciating Krishna. When we do Krishna, what we are doing? Machita Madhvata Prana, Bodhayanta Parse, Tushyanti Cha, Ramanti Cha. So we should find satisfaction in this Tushyanti and Ramanti. Not in self-devotion, appreciating Krishna, appreciating Vaishnavas. So that is Tadati Pratiguna, Guyam Akyati Puja, Bhunte Bhojteva, giving prasad, same prasad. And imagine, and then there is house as a roof. Roof means shelter. Hey, time is very, I will just in 5 minutes complete. Roof means shelter. When people come in our session, they should feel shelter. They should experience shelter of lotus feet of Krishna, experience shelter of lotus feet of Prabhupada, spiritual master, Vaishnavas. When one feels shelter, one is free from all anxieties and stress and fears. Outside world is like hot scorching sun. When one comes here, one should immediately feel cooling. Heart should feel cold. So when one receives mercy and affection from senior Vaishnavas, guidance from senior, one feels shelter. Hmm. So one should receive shelter from superiors and one should give shelter to our subordinates. And one should learn the art of receiving shelter and giving shelter. More you receive, more you can give, and more you give, more you will receive. So everybody should have someone whom you can go and ask for help or inquire when one is in struggling phase and all this thing. And this is shelter. So this temple is created so that devotees can come and receive shelter of Krishna through chanting holy names, through Vaishnava session, through reading Prabhupada books, through. So ultimately, whatever we are doing is somehow other find shelter. Hmm. Krishna, lotus shelter by different ways. And especially Vaishnavas can help us to give shelter. Feel shelter, feel peaceful, happy, shanta, feel all completely happy. All hankerings and shoka, moha, bhaya, abha, all our lamentations are gone, illusions are gone, and fears are gone. So home has a foundation. What is foundation? Individual and collective sadhana. And then flooring. What is flooring? Humble, menial service attitude. Always trying to humbly serve Vaishnavas. And then walls. What are the walls? Loving relationship. And what is roof? Shelter. Shelter of Krishna, which comes through shelter of through various ways, especially through Vaishnavas. Imagine a house has a found very nice strong foundation, wonderful flooring, wonderful walls, and there are nice strong roof also. But there's no doors and windows. What will happen? If there's no doors and windows to the house, what will happen? Huh? It will become samadhi. So house should have doors and windows. So doors and windows are compared with preaching. Mm. Doors are like compared with direct preaching. Windows are compared with indirect preaching. Direct preaching, you can go out with books, distribute books, and invite people inside. Mm. You can go out, do some various Bhagavad courses, classes, whatever. No, invite them. Mm. We can go out to Harinam. People are inspired, bring them to temple. No? So door is from where we go out and we come in, and others also can come in. So this direct preaching, giving Krishna to others. That is doors. And windows means indirect preaching. Sometimes people may be afraid to enter directly temple, be part of community. But then we can have, suppose Govinda is there, people may come for eating, eat Govinda, well, they're coming, they think, okay, they may peep in the temple also, what's there, then offer 10% go. Or it may be yoga, or maybe some music classes, or some different Sanskrit classes, something in direct way, or food distribution, just one may go out. Very nice food distribution they do. Let me go and see what. So they may see from the window, and if they like, they may enter in the from the door. So that is so Prabhupada started especially this movement for preaching purpose. So it's very important that we should do preaching. And we should preach by our own example also. Especially we should preach about proper moral character also. Like how we should follow proper regulatory principles, no maintaining, no gambling, no incident, no intoxication. Not that okay, we can do whatever we want to do and be able to help people rise to human standards and then become wonderful devotees, especially engaging, hearing, chanting, serving. And to all do all these things, we also need want to run, have a house also has electricity. What is electricity? It powers the house. Hmm? What is electricity that powers the house? Hmm? Some Lakshmi is also required to maintain the temple. And one should not also contribute for the community. If you don't contribute, community may not pay these things. So as a part of our seva, we should also, especially brahmachari should contribute by giving the body, mind, and words completely. dedicating service. And grihasthas, along with their body, mind, and word, they should also give Lakshmi. And how much Lakshmi they should give? Huh? 50%. Where you read? Huh? Yeah. Like Prabhupada, if you read any books or hear any class, Prabhupada always says we should give how much? 50%. The Prabhupada writes in Bhagavad Gita. People again. Yeah. As far as charity is concerned, one should give 50% of his earning to some good cause. And what is the good cause? It is that which is conducted in terms of Krishna consciousness. So 50% for Krishna consciousness, 25% for family, and 25% for humans. This is how, as we have suggested before, one's accumulated wealth may be divided into three parts for distribution, namely 50% for the service of the Lord, 25% for the family members, and 25% for personal necessities. This is from Bhagavatam 1:17-42. Sri Rupa Goswami taught us by his own example by using 50% of his accumulated wealth for Krishna, 25% for his own self, and 25% for the members of his family. One's main purpose should be to advance in Krishna consciousness. This will include dharma, artha, and kama. However, because one's family members expect some profit, one should also satisfy them by giving them a portion of one's accumulated wealth. This is a Shastric injunction. Srimad Bhagavatam 8:19-30. I am very much pleased that you have consented to give me the 50% of your profits on that night. But I will have no objection if you consider giving me 100%. So, this letter to Vanadir, 21st May 1970. So, like, why we chant 16 rounds? Hmm? Why we chant 16 rounds? Huh? Why we chant 16 rounds? Yeah, Prabhupada said at least minimum 16 rounds you should do, no? If you chant 16 rounds and then we follow 4 principles, huh? We could chant 4 rounds also, no? And we encourage, if somebody chants 1 round, we say Hari Bol. If someone chants 4 rounds, we encourage Hari Bol. But actual expectation is actually one should at least chant 6 rounds because that is the proper standard. If we chant 6 rounds, then it's then we can progress very nicely. And also we follow how many regular principles? 4, not 2 or 3, you know. Yes, if we can follow 2, wonderful. Then we can try to follow 3. And then we can come to standard of following 4 regular principles. Because if we chant 6 rounds and follow 4 regular, then we can progress nicely. Is chanting very easy? Chanting 6 rounds? Chanting is easy? It's very difficult. But still we chant because it's instruction. It may be difficult in the beginning, you know. How many felt chanting very difficult in the beginning? Chanting 6 rounds. But how you came to 16 rounds? Slowly, in the 1 round, 2 round, no? Like weightlifters, every day they practice. In the beginning, 5 kg, then 10 kg, 20 kg, 50 kg, 100 kg also later on one can lift, isn't it? By practice. Similarly, by chanting 1 round, 1 round, 1 round, then 2 round, 2 round, 4 round, slowly capacity increases. Then one can chant 16 rounds. Then one can become used to, yes, I can chant 16 rounds. So it is difficult in the beginning, but by practice, one is possible. Similarly, following thought principles, it may be very difficult in the beginning. No tea, no coffee, no onion, no garlic, only taking prasada. May be very difficult, huh? But still, by practice slowly, one can follow 4 principles. Is it easy to follow 4 principles? Especially in this Kali Yuga? Very difficult. But still, is it possible to practice? So, Mm. So it is difficult, but it's possible, especially possible in association of devotees. Mhm. And by chanting 16 rounds following four rhythms, though it is difficult, how you feel? Mm? It may be difficult, little challenging, but when you do that, you feel very happy, isn't it? How many feel happy that you are chanting 16 rounds and following four principles? Though it's difficult, and maybe once upon a time it was not possible, but now it is possible, you feel very happy about it, isn't it? Similarly, giving charity. Now, generally, people don't talk about charity, but actually, it's very important. Charity is very, very important because so much time, energy we give for job. Hmm. People say work is worship, but whose worship it is? To whom you give the salary to? No? If you keep salary for yourself, it's self worship only. But if you give salary to Krishna, then it is worship of Krishna. So in the beginning, it may be very difficult to give money to Krishna, but still we should give because it's the instruction of our acharyas, because it's important for our purification. At time of death, if you're attached to money, we remain here. But if we engage money in Krishna's service, we develop attachment to Krishna. Attention goes where energy flows, Attention goes where energy flows. Our most important energy, money, if it goes to Krishna, then our attention will also go to Krishna. But if money is going different places, our attention will also go. We may sit down for chanting Hare Krishna, but mind is somewhere else because money is going somewhere else. So one of the most important aspect of our life, we spend maximum time of life in working, isn't it? And earning money. So it's important that is offered to Krishna. Otherwise, it will be offered to Maya. We can't save money. Either we can spend money or we can invest money. Whatever we do in material life, that is expense. Mm. Whatever money we use in material life, that is expense. And whatever money we use in Krishna service, that is investment. That is not the expense. Uh, Intelligent person, what he does when he earns money, he spends how much and he invests how much. Huh? He spends minimum. He wants intelligent person will want to spend less and he want to invest more, isn't it? Similarly, it's very important that yes, we have our needs, family needs, basic needs, bodily needs, all needs. Yes, we should spend, but we should invest majority. Because if you invest majority, future is bright. But if you spend everything, we'll be always in anxiety whole life. But invest more and more in Krishna's service, then what will happen? We'll become fearless. I know I have big investment, nothing to worry. Old age also I can be peaceful. Why? I've done a lot of investment. So there won't be any fear. We see as time passes, people become very, very fearful. Why? Because they don't invest in Krishna's service. They spend whole thing in Maya. So whatever we give to Krishna, Krishna gives us many times more return. It's not, it's not lost. If you give something to Krishna, Krishna will always give it back. Mm. There's a beautiful purport in Srimad Bhagavatam, where Prabhupada is saying that when you give charity, it's not lost, it comes back. If you give to unqualified Brahmana, it comes back. But if you give to qualified Brahmana, it comes back million times more. And if you give to Vaishnava or devotee, it comes back unlimited times. Mm. So when you give charity, one should think that I'm making investment for my eternal life. And so one should not think that I'm spending money. This is rather uh, real uh, our good fortune, real insurance policy, engaging it in Krishna service. I remember just 2 years back, our this Prabhuji had come, Dayanand Prabhu, to our Calcutta temple, New Town temple. How many of you know Dayanand Prabhu? His proper disciple. He came, he met Prabhupada in January of 1967. Like in 1966, Prabhupada established this New York temple, 22nd Avenue. And then 67, we see San Francisco temple was established. Prabhupada went to San Francisco, Mukund, Prabhu went, and then temple. So he had come and he met Prabhupada, and he was very inspired by Prabhupada. And he had his girlfriend also. And then Prabhupada, when he saw they are interested, then then who saw that this Prabhupada is arranging marriage for boys and girls. So he went and asked Swamiji, can you arrange marriage for both of us also? Prabhupada said, first you have to take initiation, then I will arrange marriage. Then they got initiated. So Prabhupada gave him name Dayananda, and he gave his wife name uh, Nandarani. Nandarani. They got initiated, and then Prabhupada arranged marriage for them. Prabhupada personally cooked fish for them, all these things. And then Prabhupada asked him, so do you have, no, before marriage, he asked, do you have a job? He said, yes. Then he said, you can marry. And then Prabhupada said, you should give 50% of your salary to Krishna. He said, okay. And he started giving 50% of salary to Krishna. Later on, he and Nanda Prabhu, Mataji, they went to Los Angeles and they established temple. This Los Angeles temple was started by Dayanand Prabhu and Mataji. Then Prabhupada went there. And Prabhupada was so happy that they established temple. And later on, that temple became kind headquarters of ISKCON. And he got a lot of accession. So when Prabhupada went in, Prabhupada asked, so how is your job going on? He said, yes, Prabhupada, by almost thing. Then he asked, how much Lakshmi you are giving to temple, ISKCON? He said, 50%. He said, wonderful. Please do keep on doing. Another time, Dan was sharing that he was in New York. Prabhupada was there. And Umapati Prabhuji, that time Prabhuji was there. He came and uh, so Prabhupada met him and Prabhupada said, are you having job? He said, yes, Prabhupada. Then he said, how much you are earning? Then he told him. Then Prabhupada said, you should give 50% to temple. Prabhupada was, that time was a very intimate family, small. So Prabhupada would directly, talk. Then Umapati said, Umapati Prabhuji said, no, Prabhupada, there's so much, I have financial problem, this problem, it may be very difficult for me. And Prabhupada said, okay, fine. And later on, after 1 year, when Prabhupada was in Los Angeles, Umapati Prabhuji also came to meet Prabhupada. And then Prabhupada was busy. Then Umapati Prabhu asked Dayananda Prabhu, arrange some meetings so that I can meet Prabhupada. Then he arranged. Then Prabhupada said, so what's the matter? He said, Prabhupada, I'm in great anxiety. Prabhupada said, what's the anxiety? He said, I have financial anxiety. Prabhupada said, because you are not given to Krishna, you are having financial anxiety. And he asked Dayananda, so Dayananda, do you have financial anxiety? He said, no, Prabhupada, my life is good. He said, because Dayananda was giving every month 50% to Krishna. He said, he has no financial anxiety. And then later on, Prabhupada sent him to Middle East for preaching, and then he was preaching to Arabs and all these things. And later on, he met some of the Arabs devotees. They got initiated. And he was sharing that 1977, when Prabhupada was in final days, in November actually, the notice was sent to all temple leaders all over the world that Prabhupada's health is not good, and those who want to come and meet Prabhupada, please come. So then Prabhu also came to Vrindavan, and then we came to Vrindavan, then he went to Prabhupada quarters in Vrindavan. And as soon as he entered, offered danvats, and Prabhupada was in bed, practical bedridden. And immediately he opened little eyes and said, who is there? And then Dayananda said, I am Dayananda. Prabhupada was very happy. He said, please come. And then Prabhupada had very little energy. And then Prabhupada asked, so how are you? How is preaching going on? He said, yes. And then he said, are you doing job? He said, yes. And he said, what job you are doing? Then he explained, he's doing some computer related, some job. Then he asked, how much Lakshmi you are getting? Then he told some Lakshmi, I forgot. And the Prabhupada said, oh, that means your salary has become double. So Prabhupada was knowing how much he was earning. And when he told, he said, oh, your salary has become double. He said, yes, Prabhupada. Then asked, how much Lakshmi you are giving to ISKCON? He said 50%. Prabhupada said, very nice, please continue. And he said, this was my last interaction with Prabhupada. And then later on, 14th November 97, Prabhupada left. And he said, since then, all throughout my life, I followed this, giving 50%. He was telling that actually in this world nowadays, people talk about 16 rounds and falling for the principles, but they don't not talk about this giving charity. But that is equally important, because if you don't give charity to Krishna, that will be used in self gratification. And that actually blocks one's spiritual advancement. That increases material attachment, and that makes our spiritual life so difficult. So it's a package, chanting system, falling for and giving charity. Is if you just to follow two things and third thing you don't follow, then following these two things will also difficult. But if you follow the like doctor gives you three medicines, you only take two medicines, you won't get complete benefit. Because one medicine का कुछ effect दूसरा रहता है, दूसरा if you want to counteract there's third other medicine, So this is actually package. Prabhupada has given chanting 16 rounds, following for it, and also giving 50% charity. And the 50% in the beginning may be difficult. Like chanting 16 rounds may be difficult. But at least we theoretically accept yes, chanting 16 rounds is the standard. Let me start with one and two, and then gradually one can come to stand. Similarly, giving charity is very important. We can start with whatever, We can start with $1, then 1%, then 5%, 10%, 50%, at least 50%, so that we can develop attachment to Krishna. Because wherever our energies will go, money will go, our attachments also go there. Want to develop attachment to Krishna, then give to Krishna. This Radha Giridhari Prabhu, I'll just conclude by telling this. How many of you know Radha Giridhari Prabhu? He is a very nice devotee, very humble devotee. Actually, he is one of the biggest donors of his convert. But nobody will know him because he's very humble. So he was telling me, he actually gave a talk last time when he came to Calcutta to our devotees. And he was telling how in the beginning days of Chopati, 1986, 87, there were a lot of financial challenges. So after Sunday feast, they will announce who would like to sponsor this feast, all these things. And then he was feeling that always financial anxiety all the time, devotees have to struggle. Then that time he just graduated from college and from ordinary college, he was not from IIT. And he had some ordinary job, not very big, high paying job. But then he was always feeling that I should contribute something for temple. So then one day he went to Radha Maharaj and said, Maharaj, you please bless me that I can start business. And I want to do this business for supporting Radha Gopinath services. And I want to give at least 50% of my profits to Radha Gopinath. So Maharaj said, okay, fine. And then he started business. And he said he was not very expert. He was not very like coming from very big family or having big degree or something. In one sense, he was coming from ordinary college, ordinary family with ordinary income. But he had that desire to serve Krishna. And he made that commitment that I want to give 50% of them. And then he said, when he started business, surprisingly, it really became very successful. And he got great profits. And then he went and gave 50% of that profit. And then he saw that after next year, the business boomed 10 times more. And then he gave 50%. And then he saw his business give even more. And practically became crorepati. And started earning crores of rupees. And he said, he gave 50%. And so since 1986-87, he has been giving 50% of his business. And a few years back, I saw he made $800 million investment. He got that $800 million. And he invested 50% in Krishna conscious services. So I was thinking, Bapre Prabhuji, how can you, Sometimes we give 1 lakh, 1,000, 1 crore, it becomes a little painful. We think maybe I give too much, Yeah. How can you give millions of dollars to, ISKCON? He said, Prabhuji, why you are saying that I am giving millions of dollars? It's other way around. Actually, Krishna is giving me 50%, no? I don't deserve that much. If you analyze my qualification, he said, I don't deserve. But actually, Krishna is giving me so much beyond my capacity, beyond my these things. And he was telling that if you actually make commitment to serve Krishna, Krishna will give you more than your in my imagination. Which, so one should not think that if we give to Krishna, we'll lose. If at all we'll lose our misfortune, we'll lose our bondage, we'll lose our miseries, anxiety, suffering. So this is a very important aspect. And therefore, actually, Prabhupada was saying that as far as we are concerned, I can stay under hut also. But we are building this big temple in Mayapur. Why? Prabhupada said, so for preaching purpose, so that many people can come and get benefited. And also so that devotees can have some service. If you don't have service, what will you do? We'll do some gratification. So to save ourselves from, self gratification, save ourselves from Maya, it's very important that we are always engaged in some service. Uh, with Kaya, Vacha, Manasa, and also with Lakshmi, with body, words, and mind. And I'm so happy yesterday when I came, I saw there was beautiful. Last time I saw beautiful altar, beautiful temple. This time I saw there is advertisement about renovation of this temple. And Krishna Kumar was telling me many plans, how many wonderful ideas are there to renovate temple. And I also heard that there is going to be another temple, So new temple, some other place, because here some space Sunday becomes very crowded and we can't properly facilitate. So we say as long as soul is there in the body keeps on growing. So as long that Krishna consciousness is there, this community also keeps on expanding. So we keep on changing bodies all the time. Similarly, temple also external structure has to keep on changing all the time as it expands. So, so I was so happy to see that there is a many wonderful plans to renovate this temple and also many wonderful plans to expand temple to new. And this is actually a opportunity for us. When there is some service, there's an opportunity for us to grow in Krishna consciousness. So I think Radha Gopi Vallabh is extremely pleased with all of you, and offering this service opportunity. So I don't know whether you have ever considered, or maybe you have considered, you may be already doing this, giving 50% of your profits to Krishna, but you have not considered, you can consider it. And you can try and see how it affects your life. See whether you become miserable or you become happy. How many want to try, experiment, Sometimes, you may not be able to experiment whole life. You can say, okay, let me experiment at least 10 years. As long as this project is going, I will give my 50%. If not 10 years, at least 5 years. If not 5 years, at least 3 years. If not 3 years, at least 1 year. If not 1 year, at least 6 months. If not 6 months, at least 3 months. If not 3 months, at least 1 month. At least 1 month, give 50%. See for yourself. And that whether you are becoming happy or miserable. And if you do it, you will see. Krishna consciousness actually, sometimes people say, how can we develop faith, Prabhuji, in Krishna? Faith will come by practicing, applying principles. One can apply this and see for yourself how, no matter how much we glorify effect of chanting Hare Krishna, unless person chants Hare Krishna, you will not understand. So no matter how much we glorify glories of, cooking for Lord or cleaning temple of Lord, people won't understand. So no matter how much we glorify giving charity in service of Krishna, people won't understand that. We do, we can see for ourselves. And then we'll become attached. Now, if somebody tells you, don't chant Hare Krishna, how will you feel? Huh? How will you agree that, oh, if somebody says, I will give you 1 crore rupees, don't chant Hare Krishna? How many of you will agree with this proposal? because now you have become attached. And why you have become attached? Because you are getting some higher taste. Similarly, in the beginning, to give some charity and service may be painful, but if you do, you'll get higher taste. And later on, it will be very difficult to live without giving. That will become very natural. And if you start giving, your investment will go so high, then old age you won't have any anxiety. And especially at time of death, you can fearlessly enter. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So here we are trying to build a spiritual community. So what is the foundation of spiritual community? Individual and collective sadhana, hearing and chanting. And then what is flooring? Humble menial service attitude. We are coming here to render service. And then what are the walls? Loving relationships. What is the roof? Shelter. We should receive shelter from superiors and we should give shelter to subordinates. And what are the doors? Direct preaching. Yes. And what are windows? Yeah, sometimes people are afraid to enter through doors, so we can have some windows. We can give them glimpse, and when they're happy, they can come through doors. And this house, we have to also have some electricity, isn't it? Power. What is that power? We should give charity. And how much charity we should give? 50%. That is the standard. And one day we have to come to that standard. Like one day we have to come to standard standing 16 hours like that. That also we should. And that will actually purify us. That will help us to become really attached to Krishna. And then we can also have that mood like our Parikshit Maharaj. As he said when he's on the about to die, he's praying to everybody. Punasya bhuyat bhagavati anante prati prasangasthadashresu matsuyam yam upayami shrishtim maitriyastu sarvatra namo dvijebhya. That my dear Lord, my dear devotees, please bless me that I can become attached to lotus feet of Lord. I can have association of those who are attached to lotus feet of Lord. And I can have friendly relationships. And Prabhupada said he asked for such benediction, which is actually perfect pattern of living this material world. Because when we attach to Lord and having association towards Lord and having friendly relationship is as good as living in Vaikuntha. And one can have a very blissful experience. So thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. हाँ? क्या? No, I spoke because I thought that we are building community, no? And actually, we should not be afraid of asking because, like, we are not afraid of asking people to change 16 hours. Are we afraid? Because that's for their benefit. Are we afraid to tell them follow four reality principles? No. People may not be happy to hear that. People may think, "Arey, Bap, if I tell, they will run away." Okay, but if you tell those who listen, they will stay and they will be so happy and they will be so grateful. Similarly, if you tell, give 50%. Some people may be unhappy in the beginning, but when they start doing, they'll be very happy. They'll say, Prabhu, I'm so grateful to you. You told me otherwise I was going to hell, but you saved me. Because this is actually path to, this is the most wonderful, powerful path to hell. I think you should discuss name. So, okay. But if you give this, actually, I was just thinking if our devotees, those are chant system follow from, they do, others will, by their experience, like we can't tell others, you do it. But those who are devotees, they start doing, others, like as Krishna was caught, then taught. If senior devotees do menial service, juniors will also follow. If devotees who are chanting 16 follow, they also give 50% of their Lakshmi to Krishna. Then new people, they come, they are also inspired. I started my bhakti from Radha in the guest house. Radha? Oh, really? He is very, really humble devotee. So. And he also, And whole life actually he has followed that principle. Yes. Actually, if you calculate in ISKCON world, in my estimate, he is number one. Because from 86, 87, he is giving every year 50%. Because of his strong desire, he opened his company in 6 months. He became number two company in Singapore, which is $10 million company. Yeah, because he's doing for Krishna. And he deeply believes in that. He thought, he was telling me, if I had done for myself, I would never have become so big. Hmm? Because I'm doing it under instruction of spiritual master, I'm doing for Krishna. Krishna is giving beyond my expectation and qualifications. Yeah. Really very humble and very inspiring Vaishnava. Requesting everyone to follow his suit. Actually, I also was so amazed. Dayanand Prabhu, now he's Vanaprastha. I said, how you are able to be one? Because I was, he said, because I was following Grasta principles, I have been able to be Vanaprastha. No? Uh, He was able to serve Krishna because of that. He was able to be gradually develop attachment to Krishna and then smoothly give up that thing. And so, and similarly, this devotee. So there are devotees who are following these principles. No? And we can take inspiration from them. And we can create that culture actually. If that culture is there, then no. And actually, as our Mahavishnu Maharaj said, I don't want people to go out and ask money from outsiders because we don't know that money, what kind of money is that, Sometimes black money, not so pure money. But devotees' money is pure money. With that, we build temple that is actually very pleasing to Krishna. What ingredients we use, like cooking, we are very concerned that we use good ingredients for cooking, isn't it? Outside ingredient we don't know because pata nahi what contamination, what this thing there. Best is the if you have like best is we all grow our own food and offer to Krishna, and then it's very nice, pure ingredients. Ingredients also matter, not just offering. So similarly, Lakshmi, which is earned by devotees, hard work that is offered with that temple is built. Actually, that's very pure ingredients. Outside people, with that so much karma and so much impurity also come. But devotee may engage outside people also so that they can also begin their devotional service. Sometimes for outside chanting is very difficult. Giving money is easy because when they give money, they get feeling that I am giving something. I am donor. And later on they understand actually I am a recipient. Sometimes people in the beginnings, they may have this idea that I am giving something. But later on, another actually Krishna, who can give to Krishna? I am taking from Krishna. And so later on I feel fortunate. So yes, this is the thing that our devotees give. That is actually very, very pleasing. And one should not think that I have very little. Whatever little, Sudama had nothing. He just gave little bit. Krishna is pleased with that. When that culture is there, then it's very wonderful. So we see we have this culture of chanting system following for religions. But this culture, as earlier during proper times, because most of the devotees were full-time devotees. They were staying in temple and nobody had jobs. Hardly very few devotees had job. So that is not very prominent. So in proper times, chanting system following for religion and everybody is going out for book distribution, Hariram. That is very, very prominent because everybody is full-time devotee. And when they used to go book distribution, Harinam, and they used, what are Lakshmi, they earn with that they built so many temples. Our Mayapur temple, Vrindavan temple, Bombay temple, all temples came from book distribution. So like that, so that time because everybody is full time. But now actually most of the devotees are grahasthas. So therefore this aspect of charity is extremely important. So charity begins at home. How many think this is your home? Okay, thank you very much. Shiva Prabhupada.
You can end this project.
Okay, I have to end the Zoom call.
For end for all.